Shalom. I like to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Makah Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles and bishops of Great Millstone. I like to bring out some of this information from this guy on YouTube, David Hooksteed. That is his page on YouTube, and he brings out good information on World War III. And here we go.
Now let's get into it. So I'm going to put this up on the screen right to start. That little red pin that you see, that is Kharg Island. So I'm going to zoom in on it so you guys can get a good look at it right here. Now, why is this island so important? Why does the United States want this island that you see on your screen right there? You can see there's an airport runway strip. This island represents 90 to 95% of all Iranian oil exports. They come through Kharg Island. It is the lifeline. It is the one thing keeping the Iranian oil system up and running for exports, sanctioned or unsanctioned, doesn't matter. This is where they come through. Whoever controls this island controls all of Iran. So one of the things the United States government has floated in question doing is, why don't we just land ground troops on this island? Let's take it. That'll force the Iranians into a situation where they have no other options. We will have a gun to their head, a knife to their throat, all the leverage in the world. And it appears that that is exactly what the United States is doing. So right here it says, senior American officials in recent days have told their counterparts in Israel and other countries that the United States will be forced to launch a ground operation to capture Iran's Kharg Island, the primary oil export terminal for the Islamic Republic in the northern Persian Gulf, according to two sources familiar with the details who spoke to Israel's I-24 News. So the United States is telling people in Israel that we are getting ready for a ground invasion. Now right here, we got a lot of details. So we know roughly 5,000 Marines, I believe 2 different Marine expeditionary units who specialize in this type of thing, are on the way. Now they're not there yet. The first group is about 5 days away. I believe the second group is still weeks away. So we have 2,500 or so that will be there by the end of the week. We have another 2,500 or so that will follow in the weeks that follow. This is further information from Axios. It says the Trump administration is considering plans to occupy or blockade Iran's Kharg Island to pressure Iran to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. 4 sources with knowledge of the issue tell Axios why it matters. President Trump can't end the war, at least on his terms, until he breaks Iran's chokehold on shipping through the strait. In the meantime, global energy prices are surging. But an operation to take over Kharg Island, which sits 15 miles offshore and processes 90% of Iran's crude oil exports, could put U.S. troops more directly in the line of fire. Thus, such an operation would only be launched after the U.S. military further degrades Iran's capacity around the Strait of Hormuz. We need about a month to weaken the Iranians with more strikes, take the island, and get them by the balls to use it for negotiations. A source with knowledge of in the White House said of the thinking. So what we are doing, we're going to try to take this island. Taking the island is not the issue. Taking the Marines and the 82nd Airborne, which we're going to get into here shortly, they can take the island. Question is, can you defend and hold the island? Because once we take that island, you can bet everything you have the Iranians will open up on it with ballistic missiles, with drones, and our troops will be under attack. We need to make sure we have the defensive measures, the defensive capabilities in place on Kharg Island to stop that. So that is where the tough thing comes in. Taking it, not the hard part of the equation. Holding it under Iranian ballistic and missile drone attacks, that's where things can get real dicey. Now, Lucas Tomlinson of Fox News reported that it's not just the Marines. He reported the 82nd Airborne is also on the way. Let's watch.
Leaving San Diego in the past week. Now, there's also indications based on plane spotters that elements of the 82nd Airborne Division, probably the Alert Brigade, have arrived here in the region based on flights, cargo flights from Fort Bragg and likely also Fort Campbell. That's also home to elements of the 18th Airborne Corps, of course, 101st Airborne Division. Bill.
Lucas, thanks to see you.
Right there, Lucas Tomlinson reporting the 82nd Airborne is moving in. The 82nd Airborne can rapidly deploy, rapidly mobilize in a hell of a U.S. military unit. Great war fighters, so they, along with the Marines, are moving into the region. Now, for those of you who missed it, we actually bombed Kharg Island. And I'm going to put this up on the screen for you, and then we're going to get into Trump's comments, so make sure you stay for that. So this is video footage that was released by CENTCOM about a week ago when we bombed Kharg Island. You can see the explosions. We did not hit the oil infrastructure. In fact, we were only targeting the military capabilities, the defense capabilities. This is what you call softening the target or setting the table. See, we're bombing the runways. We are making it so that when we invade, if we have to invade, that we are capable of facing as little resistance as possible. So that is what you are seeing on your screen right now, the bombing of Kharg Island ahead of any U.S. troop deployment. So you can see massive explosions.
Heard an online MBA.
Sorry, Salaki.
Wait for us.
But that's basically it, you know what I'm saying? You know, they sending a lot of troops in there, man, and everything is heating up in that Middle East, man. The chip is on the way, destruction is on the way. You know, Shalom.